Chapter 7. The People of Istanbul. Faces, Voices and the City's Beating Heart. If the city of Istanbul were a song, its melody would be ancient. But its rhythm? Because this isn't a city built by stone or steel, it is built by people. Millions of them, all hustling, dreaming, arguing, selling, sipping, and surviving in perfect chaotic harmony. They're the real magic, the pulse behind the skyline. The tea pourers, masters of the tiny glass. They're everywhere, like caffeinated angels with trays. These men, and sometimes women, glide through offices, markets, ferries, and alleyways with steel trays stacked with tulip-shaped glasses filled with crimson tea. They don't just serve tea, they serve connection. In Istanbul, tea is currency. Deals are made over it, heartbreaks are soothed by it, and strangers become friends because of it. And they pour it with the precision of an artist. Tilt the pot just right, hit that golden ratio of sugar to brew, and you've created a moment. Simple, sweet, essential. Some cities run on electricity. Istanbul, it runs on tea. The ferry captains, commanders of the strait every day. Thousands of commuters cross the Bosphorus, Europe to Asia, Asia to Europe, aboard ferries that look like floating time machines. And at the helm, the ferry captains, half mariners, half poets. They've seen every sunrise and storm this city can throw at them. They guide the ships through fog and chaos, always steady, always calm. These are the men who see Istanbul's moods better than anyone. When the water sparkles gold, they smile quietly. When the fog rolls in from the Black Sea, they sip their tea and whisper, "She's in one of those moods again." There's poetry in their silence. A quiet wisdom born from steering between continents every single day. The cats. Istanbul's furry philosophers know, really, the cats deserve their own section. They rule this city with velvet paws and zero shame. They nap on museum steps, pose on cafe chairs, and judge you from ancient ruins. They've got more Instagram followers than some influencers, and they know it. Istanbul's people feed them, protect them, and even build them tiny shelters. They're strays, technically, but in reality, they're community members. Every cat in this city has a story. There's the fisherman Ace cat at Karachi who wants to touch anything but fresh sardines. The university cat that crashes lectures like it owns the place. The mosque cat that curls up by the mihrab during prayers. They reliving proof that Istanbul's heart beats for all its inhabitants, even the four-legged ones. The grandmothers, keepers of the kitchen and the culture. Walk through any neighborhood at noon and you'll smell it, home cooking. That's the Istanbul grandmother's doing. She's the invisible queen of the apartment block, the woman who can feed 10 people with 5 ingredients and a dash of magic. Her dolma, stuffed grape leaves, will ruin all other food for you. Her baklava, divine intervention. But she's more than a cook. She's the keeper of memory. She remembers the old songs, the pre-gentrification streets, the neighbors who've come and gone. Her kitchen is a time capsule. Every dish tells a story, one of migration, love, patience, and endurance. When she scolds the world, it's usually while kneading dough. And honestly, she's right 90% of the time. The barbers and tailors, Istanbul's unsung artists. The barbershops and tailor shops of Istanbul are their own microcosms, loud, funny, and full of gossip that spreads faster than Wi-Fi. The barber doesn't just cut your hair, he interrogates your soul. How's business? Family okay? Why you look tired? Snip, snip, snip. 5 minutes later, you're confessing life regrets to a man holding scissors. And the tailors? Absolute magicians. They can fix anything from a torn jacket to your faith in humanity. Their craft isn't just about fabric, it's about detail, patience, and pride. Together, they remind you that art doesn't always hang on walls. Sometimes it's stitched, trimmed, and powdered with aftershave. The street performers, the soundtrack of chaos. From the accordion player in Istiklal to the clarinet guy at Galata Bridge, Istanbul sings. You'll hear everything. Folk tunes from the Black Sea region, Persian ballads, Western covers with a Turkish twist. Maybe even a rap verse shouted over a darbuka beat. These performers are storytellers. They don't just play music, they translate the city. Each note is a conversation, each lyric a confession. And people listen, not just tourists, but locals too. Because here, street art isn't a sideshow. It's the heartbeat of daily life. The market vendors, masters of the hustle, step into the Spice Bazaar or Grand Bazaar and prepare for a crash course in charisma. These vendors are part salesman, part comedian, part psychologist. They'll read you faster than a therapist and charm you before you even know you're spending money. Where are you from? Ah, my friend, special price for you. Smell this saffron. Taste this delight. They're not lying when they say every deal comes with a smile. It's half business, half theater. And beneath the humor and hustle lies pride. Many of these shops are family businesses handed down for generations. When they sell you something, it's not just a product, it's a piece of tradition. The taxi drivers. Istanbul's philosophers in motion. Istanbul traffic could make saints curse, but taxi drivers, they thrive in it. They're navigators, entertainers, and armchair philosophers rolled into one. They'll talk politics, football, heartbreak, and conspiracy theories, sometimes all in the same 15-minute ride. They know shortcuts GPS doesn't, and stories that would make a novelist jealous. One will tell you about his grandfather who drove through the 1950s when there were barely any cars. Another will rant about how Google Maps doesn't understand Istanbul's soul. And by the time you reach your stop, you'll have learned more about life than you expected. The young dreamers, Istanbul's modern pulse. Then there's the new generation, the artists, coders, filmmakers, and designers shaping Istanbul's future one idea at a time. They're rewriting the rules of what it means to be Turkish, cosmopolitan, and creative. They hang out in co-working cafes in Karachi, film documentaries in Balat, and design apps that connect baklava bakers to customers across continents. They love their city fiercely, but they also challenge it. They talk about sustainability, freedom, and identity with the same energy their grandparents once used to rebuild after wars. They're the bridge between eras, fluent in memes and mysticism, tech and tea culture. They're proof that Istanbul isn't stuck in time. It's constantly reinventing itself. The voices that never fade. The thing about Istanbul's people is that they never stop talking in cafes, at ferry docks, in line for simit. There's always laughter, debate, or someone shouting at a football match. It's not noise, it's life. It's how this city processes everything, through conversation. And it's contagious. Even if you arrive shy and silent, you'll end up arguing about baklava recipes or predicting Fenerbahçe's next match by the end of the week. That's the Istanbul effect. It pulls you in, shakes you up, and somehow makes you part of its endless dialogue. The heart that never sleeps. You see, Istanbul isn't defined by its skyline, mosques, or bridges. It's defined by its people. By the old man who feeds pigeons in Sultanahmet every morning. By the street vendor who remembers your order after one visit. By the ferry captain, the cat, the artist, the grandmother. They're all threads in a fabric that never unravels. Colorful, chaotic, resilient. And when you leave, it's not the architecture that stays with you. It's the feeling, that hum of human warmth that follows you home like the echo of a call to prayer mixed with laughter. Up next, bonus chapter, Bosphorus Nights, Istanbul After Dark. Because if you think the city's wild during the day, wait until the sun goes down. In the next and final chapter, we'll cruise through the nightlife, rooftop bars, midnight food joints, and the electric rhythm of a city that refuses to sleep.